So do you really need a wireless microphone? Well, my answer is yes, but, and we'll talk about that shortly. Today we're going to talk about the Rode Wireless Go 2 wireless microphone system, and we're also going to talk about what really matters when it comes to wireless microphones, and we're going to compare the Wireless Go 2 to DJI's new DJI Mic. That is DJI's new wireless microphone, and these two are real game changers. So I've definitely said that you need a wireless microphone. So what is the but then? Well, if you are in a studio like this, or if you've got a setup that doesn't really change, it's static if you will, having a wired microphone is probably going to be a better and more reliable solution in the long term. For everything else though, a wireless microphone is going to make the video production process a lot more convenient. And that means that you guys can shift more of your focus towards the creative side of video making. And that is going to translate into better quality content, more views, more watch time, and at the end of the day, likely more money. So having a wireless mic is going to make the creative process a lot more convenient and enjoyable. So the question is, how good is the Rode Wireless Go 2 and what are the features that we need to know about? Well, first up and probably most important is audio quality. And I can say that it is excellent, top notch for the price you pay, and you guys definitely won't be sorry. You're currently listening to the microphone that is clipped to my shirt. It's on my chest here. This is one of the transmitters. It's wirelessly feeding audio to our receiver, and our receiver is feeding audio then into our Zoom F6 field recorder where it's being recorded. Now I've done this so that you can hear a comparison between what this wireless mic sounds like, comparing that to something like the Rode NTG5. Now this is a shotgun style microphone, and you can hear that it's got a more full and rich sound, but do keep in mind this is a substantially more expensive microphone, and we're just having this as a bit of a comparison. Also, it's a little bit inconvenient to kind of clip this onto the front of your shirt. Yeah, last I checked, it doesn't work so well. So next up are 7 features that I think really matter when it comes to audio. And this first one is a game changer. And that is internal audio recording on each one of these transmitters. And that includes visual flags, so you guys can actually see by looking at the waveform where the audio dropouts occurred. That makes things a whole lot more convenient. So think about this. If you are a one-man show, creating content, making videos, there's quite a lot going on and you may not notice audio dropouts. Not a problem. You've got an internal recording that is always there. And also, there's none of that worry, oh man, we need to try and retake shots, or we're back here now at the studio and how are we ever going to get that shot again because the audio was lost? No more of that. The next important factor is low latency, or how quickly the audio is being sent from our transmitter to our receiver and then recorded into our camera. The latency between the transmitter and the receiver is 5 milliseconds, so I can guarantee you will have no audio syncing issues. Over the past year that I've been using this little device, I've had no issues whatsoever. Range is normally the next contentious issue. And I can tell you with this system, I've been regularly using it at 80 meters outdoors line of sight, and it has been rock solid. Now Rode do claim you can get 200 meters line of sight outdoors, but just take it from me, guys, you're not going to be doing video recording at 200 meters away. If you are needing that type of distance, you're likely going to be needing a more professional wireless grade system. If you need to hide a microphone on your talent, you don't want to see this little transmitter, each of the transmitters has a 3.5mm TRS microphone input. So you can plug in a lav mic, you can clip the transmitter behind on your belt or put it in your pocket, and then you can just clip the little lav mic capsule underneath, you tape it underneath your shirt, or you can clip it on your shirt for a more clean look. The last 3 features are maybe not as important as the first 4 that we've already talked about, although I do think they still hold some weight. And that is, with this Wireless Go 2 system, you get 2 transmitters, and each of those transmitters transmits its audio to one receiver, and it can be recorded separately or merged. So think about this. If you are doing interviews and there are 2 people, you microphone each separate person up and you can record each of their conversations separately. Or if you are making videos with friends and both of you are trying to speak, or you both want to have your audio recorded in each of the scenes that you're doing, this little system is perfect. There is a Rode Central app, so you can't change all of the settings just by using the little buttons on the transmitters and receivers, but that's not really a problem because all you do is you either plug it into your smartphone or into your computer, and then you can change a whole lot of settings on there. And that is also how you access the internal recordings on the transmitter. And lastly, you're able to plug the receiver into your smartphone using Rode's SC15 or SC16 adapter cable, or directly into your computer using a USB-C to USB-C cable. That way you have a wireless USB microphone for meetings, for voiceovers, or for whatever you want to use it for. So what about build quality? Well, I would say that for the price you're paying, it is really excellent. Now, it is completely made out of plastic, although it does feel like it is a really strong and durable plastic, and that's good because I expect these things to last for many years to come. So how easy is the wireless mic to use? Well, as I said earlier, audio is a really important part of the video creation process, and it needs to be convenient and reliable. That said, these little devices are super simple to use, and once you've got it set up, maybe using the app on your computer, or if you've got the adapter cables, using the app on your smartphone, once you've got it set up, it's more of a set and forget type of device. So I found myself setting it up, and all I have to do now is just turn it on, start recording, and you never have to worry again. It just has worked for me every single time. Another question I often get asked is, how long does the battery last in these little devices? Well, I can confidently say that I get 6 hours between charges. The way I use this wireless system is that on a day that I want to make a video, I turn on the transmitter and the receiver and I leave it on the entire day. Then I only turn on my camera and capture video clips as and when I need. So it kind of reduces that possibility of forgetting to turn on a microphone. You take this perfect scene, get to editing and realize, damn it, there's no audio. How am I going to capture that again? That has definitely not been a problem for me while using these little devices. Although, don't be fooled, if you are filming for 10 or 12 hours in a day, you're definitely going to need to charge them up. So who is this little system for? Well, I can think of 3 examples. If you are a beginner content creator or filmmaker and you're using your smartphone for video, the video on those things these days is actually pretty good, but the audio still needs to be improved somewhat. So if you add one of these little wireless Go 2 systems to that, of course you'll need to also buy the SC15 or SC16 cable. That's going to make your videos that much better. If you are sort of a medium or intermediate user, maybe you're shooting a lot of video in the field, a lot of fast-paced stuff, and you need wireless audio links, then these are also going to work really well for that. You can also do some wireless overhead booming, although I think a wired connection is probably going to be a better solution. Then for the professional user, let's say you are doing a wedding photography or videography, and you're trying to mic up the bride and the groom. I've heard of some of my mates that actually do this, and they say at some locations there is so much RF interference that even at a couple of meters away you get audio dropouts. Again, not a problem anymore because of the internal audio recording. You've got peace of mind, you can film what you need to, and everything's always going to work out just fine. Well, that is as long as you keep the units charged up and running. So I guess it can't always be bells and whistles. There must be something wrong or something that can be improved on the next version. And there is 3 things that I can think about. Firstly, there is no locking 3.5mm TRS microphone input. Now you mostly find these on more professional grade transmitters, but that would be nice to see, especially since you might be using this with a lav mic and this is clipped to your belt, or it's in a pocket and it's quite easy for the microphone jack to be pulled out. Although a little bit of duct tape could probably do the trick. Next up, I would like to see a line level input, of course on the same jack plug, but a setting where you can set either line level or mic level. Now, there is a built-in setting, a built-in pad, attenuator pad, that can be used, but what I use this for on some occasions is I feed live commentary from a mixing desk into the transmitter and I send it 80 meters across the field into the receiver, and I've still got to use an attenuator box. And then thirdly, each of these units has to be charged separately. So you need 3 charge cables, in this case 3 USB-Cs, 3 charging bricks, and it can get a bit cumbersome at times. Now if we compare that to the Hollyland Lark 150 or the DJI Mic, those have got little carry cases where you pop the transmitters and receiver into and they charge in the case. Also, what I like about the DJI Mic, we'll talk about that later, and it's got to do with the charging. So what do you get in the box? Well, you get 1 receiver, 2 transmitters, 3 windshields, 3 charging cables, 1 TRS to TRS audio cable, and a carry pouch. So I'm going to say this wireless microphone system is basically the Swiss Army knife of wireless mics. Well, that is until the DJI Mic came along. Let's have a quick look at that. Before we do, and if you are interested, I will leave links in the description to these little devices and all of the accessories we've talked about. You can go and check out a full list of specs and features there, and also go and read the user reviews. There's many of them around, and it's also good to get other people's opinions. Also, before we get to the DJI Mic, I haven't been paid to say this, I haven't been asked to say this, but I feel it has earned a mention. A lot of the equipment that you see me using and that I've been using over the last couple of years, including the Rode Wireless Go 2, I've purchased from expert clippers in Port Elizabeth. Now, over the years, they have given me excellent customer service, sound advice every time when I need a little bit of free advice, if you want to say, if I'm not going to go and buy something, they're always more than willing to help. So thank you very much for that. You don't find that much these days. So if any of you guys are interested and you are in South Africa or in Port Elizabeth, go check them out. They're very friendly. Just really, thank you very much, guys. You've made my life a lot easier. So the DJI Mic versus the Rode Wireless Go 2. Well, the DJI Mic has a couple of advantages. Firstly, the charging case. I did kind of mention this earlier, where both transmitters and receiver charge in the case, and the case only charges with one USB-C cable. It charges everything at the same time. You can also charge the transmitters and the receiver independently by plugging a USB-C cable into each one of those, and that is awesome. You can adjust all of the settings on the receiver's touch screen. There is a small touch screen, so you don't have to use a separate app on maybe a smartphone or a computer, and that is very convenient for using these little devices in the field. If you are like me and you use a Sony a6400, it doesn't have a headphone out, so there's no way of monitoring your audio, and the DJI Mic has got a headphone out so that you can monitor your audio. Also, for its internal backup recording, it can record up to 15 hours internally on each of the transmitters, which is about double compared to the Rode Wireless Go 2. There is also an increased range. DJI claimed 250 meters, but again, you're not going to be using this at 250 meters, although that means the transmitter's signal output is probably a little bit stronger than the Rode Wireless Go 2's transmitters, and a stronger signal is generally always a good thing to have. And the last thing here, it comes with its own USB-C and Lightning phone adapters in the kit that you buy. Comparing that to the Rode Wireless Go 2, you have to buy separately the SC15 or the SC16 cables. The Rode Wireless Go 2 also has some advantages over the DJI Mic. First up is the built-in pad, the built-in attenuator on the Rode Wireless Go 2, nothing like that on the DJI. Secondly, when you are looking for audio dropouts in your audio recordings, when you use the Rode Central app, all of the dropouts are flagged and you can visually see where they are at a glance. You don't have this option on the DJI. And also the backup track starts automatically on the Rode device. Now, this doesn't happen on the DJI Mic, and I quite prefer this. I just want to be able to power up the device, and once it's powered up, it must link up and start backing up immediately. Having a separate backup recording button on the DJI Mic is just one more thing to forget. So if you found the video useful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up so that it can get recommended and shared with as many people as possible. Also, leave us a comment in the comment section. It's really always awesome to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think about these little devices. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Burton, and you'll see me in the next video. Cheers.